Universes Beyond Final Fantasy is officially out. How is the secondary market responding? Find out in this all-new episode of the Magic the Gathering Market Watch. This video is sponsored by Flipside Gaming. Check out flipsidegaming.com for all your gaming needs. Right now you can order Magic the Gathering Final Fantasy, pre-order Edge of Eternities, or find a vast number of other great items on their website. Remember, if your order is over $100 or consists only of singles, shipping will be free in the United States. Just look in the description or comment section below for direct links to their site. Hey there, this is John from Heroes and Legends, and welcome to another edition of the Magic the Gathering Market Watch. As I said in the cold open, this is Final Fantasy release weekend, and the new set is having an impact on some card prices. Since the Final Fantasy cards are all new, you won't see any of them on our hot or cold list today. Prices are stabilizing too aggressively right now for that. But tomorrow we are going to have a special edition of the Market Watch where we check in on some of the hottest cards from the new set. Today, however, we'll be looking at the rest of the market by discussing the 10 coldest cards and the 11 hottest cards of the week. As always, our lists are based on two pieces of criteria: the percentage change in the value of the cards, as well as the change in the number of sales from week to week. We'll look quickly at the cold cards and then spend a little more time on the cards moving up in price. Quickly before we get into it though, I do want to thank one of our gold patrons, and that is Todd Branch. Todd, thank you for all the support you've given the channel through Patreon, through many generous super thanks tips. It's all appreciated. Thank you so much, Todd. And now, without any further ado, let's get into it. We'll begin with the top 10 coldest cards of the week. Several cards that were spiking in previous weeks are here as they retracted in an attempt to find their proper price point. That's not too unusual, since a price spike tends to bring more copies of a card into the marketplace, which satisfies some of the demand. Alright, let's get started with number 10. Vitor Kin to All, down $1.04 to $6.21, that's a 14% decrease. This is a great commander card, but lots of packs of Tarkir Dragonstorm have been open, so it's not too surprising to see this drop. Number 9, Poxwalkers, down $1.08 to $8.39, that's an 11% decrease. This is from the Warhammer 40k, the Ruinous Powers Commander deck. It was hot due to its play in multiple formats, especially Legacy. Now though, it's cooling off some. Number 8, the Master Multiplied, down $1.16 to $11.08, that's a 9% decrease. This is from the Doctor Who Masters of Evil Commander deck. Deadpool trading card commander decks made this explode several weeks ago. Now the market is moving on to other things. Number 7 is War Leader's Call, down $1.20 to $10.89, that's a 10% decrease. This is seeing far less standard play than it once was, but it's still a great commander card. It's an awesome upgrade to the Tarkir Dragonstorm Mardu Surge commander deck, but again, the market is moving on. Down 4 spots this week to number 6, Dueling Grounds, down $1.32 to $7.38, that's a 15% decrease. This one-print wonder's been hot because of its use in Tom Bombadil commander decks. Those builds are seeing more play now thanks to the new Saga creatures found in the Final Fantasy products, but Dueling Grounds is still trying to find its proper price. Number 5 is Storm Chaser's Talon, down $1.43 to $11.74, that's an 11% decrease. This is still a solid card in multiple formats, especially standard. Regardless though, it moves down some this week. Number 4, Cabal Ritual from Torment, down $1.64 to $13.32, that's an 11% decrease. This is played in multiple formats, but the recent reprinting in Mystery Booster 2 has softened this original copy some. Number 3, Delina Wild Mage, down $1.65 to $10.99, that's a 13% decrease. Another card that blew up thanks to Deadpool trading card. This one is sliding down some too though. Number 2, Powder Keg from Urza's Destiny, down $4.70 to $36.07, that's a 12% decrease. Legacy and Pre-Modern have been pushing this reserve list card, but this week it retracts some. And coming in at number 1 is Replenish, down $22 to $117.99, that's a 16% decrease. Solid commander card found in the popular Tom Bombadil decks, but Pre-Modern has really pushed this reserve list card. It's part of the Parallax Replenish decks there. This week, however, it is moving down. And that brings us to the main event, the top 11 hottest cards of the week. I added an extra card this week since 10 and 11 were very close. So let's take a look at number 11, Aberrant, up $1.04 to $3.95. That's a 36% increase. This is from the Warhammer 40k Tyranid Swarm Commander deck and has been seeing a little Commander play. It's in builds around the Swarm Lord and Magnus Lucia Kane, for example. Those are 2 cards from its pre-con. Now, however, some are putting this in builds around a card from Universes Beyond Final Fantasy. That's Genova Ancient Calamity. Aberrant is a mutant that has Ravenous, so it fits well in Genova builds. Number 10, Flame of Anor, up $1.04 to $4.04. That's a 35% increase. This has been seeing play in multiple formats. In Modern, it's in Grixis Control. Is it Control, Jeskai Ascendancy combo? Is it Murktide, Temur Splinter Twin, and more? Over in Legacy, sometimes this appears in Jeskai Control, as well as some other builds. In Vintage, it's consistently in Lurrus Paradoxical Outcome. Additionally, Flame of Anor has been played in regular and 1v1 dual commander decks. You see it in Niv Mizzet Perun builds, for example, in 1v1 commander, and in regular commander it appears very frequently in Veyran Voice of Duality, and in Nala Archmage Ritualist, among others. However, a new Final Fantasy card is what's really making Flame of Anor jump. This plays really well in Commander and 1v1 dual Commander decks around Vivi Ornithir. Flame of Anor is a very economical non-creature spell when played with a wizard. Vivi happens to be a wizard that wants you to play non-creature spells. I'm also seeing some players using both Vivi and Flame of Anor in modern builds like Vivi Curiosity combo and Is It Control. We'll have to see if those decks can break into the meta, but right now, there's a lot of attention on them. Number 9, Irenicus's Vile Duplication from Commander Legends Battle for Baldur's Gate, up $1.09 to $5.12. That's a 27% increase. This has been seeing Commander play in several builds, like Mizzix the Ismagnus and Ovika Enigma Goliath, for example. However, now Irenicus's Vile Duplication is appearing in multiple Commander decks around new Final Fantasy cards. It just happens to play well with a bunch of new legendary creatures. First, many are getting this to upgrade the Science and Spellcraft Commander deck, while others are adding it to fresh builds around the front-facing Commander from there, Y'shtola Knight's Blessed. Others are using Irenicus's Vile Duplication in builds around different cards from the main set, including Vivi Ornithir, the Emperor of Pelmecia / the Lord Master of Hell, Kefka Court Mage / Kefka Ruler of Ruin, and Y'shtola Rule. Number 8 is Savor the Moment from Shadowmoor, up $1.67 to $7.97. That's a 27% increase. This has been known to see Commander playing Oloro Ageless Ascetic builds, among others at times, but this is a blue non-creature spell. Gee, I wonder why it's spiking. Oh yeah, it's because of Vivi Ornithir. Savor the Moment is appearing in Vivi Commander decks. A week ago, this was number 10 on the hot list. Last week it was at number 4. This week it drops 3 spots to number 7. Arwen Mortal Queen, up $2 to $10. That's a 25% increase. This has been seeing a little Commander play in a few builds, like Lathiel the Bounteous Dawn and Felko Spera Packweaver, for example. Now, though, Arwen is being pushed by some Final Fantasy cards. Some wanted to upgrade the Counter Blitz Commander deck, while others are adding Arwen to fresh builds around a couple cards from there, the front-facing Commander, Tidus Yuna's Guardian, and to a lesser degree around Aerith Last Ancient. Arwen Mortal Queen will be especially good with Tidus, since Tidus can move and proliferate the indestructible counter on Arwen. Up 3 spots this week to number 6, Barbara Wright, up $2.31 to $44. That's a 91% increase. This is from the Doctor Who Blast from the Past Commander deck. Currently it gets a little Commander play in builds like Tom Bombadil or Narcy Fable Singer, but as you can imagine, this is about to see more play because of the creature sagas from Final Fantasy. Players are building new versions of Tom Bombadil and including this. Plus, I've seen Barbara Wright in Commander deck lists around Terra Magical Adept / Esper Terra from the Final Fantasy main set. Alright, before we get to the top 5, just a quick reminder, this video is sponsored by Flipside Gaming. Check out flipsidegaming.com for all your gaming needs. Right now, you can order Magic the Gathering Final Fantasy products there. You can pre-order Edge of Eternities, or find any number of other great items on their website. Remember, if your order is over $100 or consists only of singles, shipping will be free in the United States. And if you're looking for a direct link to their site, just check out the description or comment section below. I do have links posted in both of those places. And now, without any further ado, let's get to the top 5. A week ago, this was number 9 on the hot list. Last week, it landed at the 7th spot. This week, it's up 2 more spots to number 5, Danny Pink, up $2.62 to $11.50. That's a 30% increase. This is from the Doctor Who Paradox Power Commander deck. It has seen a little Commander play in a few decks, like the one around the partner commanders, the 13th Doctor and Yasmin Khan from its pre-con, as well as the Wise Mothman, for example. You guessed it though, Final Fantasy has pushed the price of this card too. Many players are getting Danny Pink to upgrade the Counter Blitz commander deck, while others want it for fresh builds around a couple cards from there. Tidus, Yuna's Guardian, and Yuna, Grand Summoner. Down one spot this week to number 4, Sage of Hours, up $3 to $13.80, that's a 28% increase. This has been seeing a little commander play. Sometimes it's in Azuri Claw of Progress or Hinata Dawn Crown builds, for example, but you know what I'm going to say, don't you? Final Fantasy is causing this spike too. Sage of Hours is a good upgrade to the Counter Blitz commander deck, and some players are getting it to put in fresh builds around a couple cards from there, Yuna Grand Summoner, and to a lesser degree, Tidus, Yuna's Guardian. Up 7 spots this week to number 3, Tekuthaw Inquiry Dominus, up $3.08 to $12.23, that's a 34% increase. This is a fairly popular commander, and it's in the 99 of some builds like Atraxa Praetor's Voice, for example. However, now some players want Tekuthaw as an upgrade to the Final Fantasy Counter Blitz commander deck, while others are getting it for fresh builds around a couple cards from there, Tidus, Yuna's Guardian, and, to a lesser extent, Lulu, Stern Guardian. Up 3 spots this week to number 2, Dihada Binder of Wills, up $5.07 to $22.24, that's a 30% increase. This is the foil copy from the Dominaria United Legends Legacy commander deck. It's a fairly popular commander and found in the 99 of some builds like Joda the Unifier and Sisei Weatherlight Captain, for example. Final Fantasy cards are pushing this price too, though. I'm seeing some players adding Vina Heart of Hydaelyn / Hydaelyn the Mother Crystal to their Dihada commander builds. Others want Dihada Binder of Wills to upgrade the Final Fantasy Revival Trance commander deck, while still others are putting Dihada in fresh deck lists around the front-facing commander, Terra Herald of Hope, and Celis Rune Knight from there. Finally, coming in at number 1 is Quicksilver Elemental, up $16.21 to $32.48. That's a 100% increase if you're doing the math at home. I won't bury the lead. This is part of a 2-card combo with Vivi Orniteer. Quicksilver Elemental can use Vivi's ability without the only on your turn and once per turn drawback. That gives you infinite blue and red mana. This is already happening in Commander and 1v1 dual Commander Vivi builds. That's going to do it for this episode of the Magic the Gathering Market Watch, but we're going to come back tomorrow looking at some of those Final Fantasy cards. Until then, though, hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please give us a like and subscribe, and have a great day. Hey, thanks for watching. This video is made possible through the generous support of viewers like you on Patreon. Check out the description below for links to our Patreon page as well as our Amazon affiliate store, where a small percentage of all sales will also help support the channel. Finally, if you haven't had a chance yet to subscribe, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the new videos on Heroes and Legends. Talk to you again soon, and have a great day.